Yes. Welcome back to the Football Terrace. Hope you're all doing wonderfully well indeed. We're here, a couple of updates regarding Manchester United. Before we go any further, hit the like button. Really important right now, live on the air, that you hit that like button for us. It truly is. We're going to talk Jadon Sancho. A lot of rumours circulating on social media that Man United are willing to or are ready to pull out of this big, mega money deal. I will have to say this. I have to say it's now. Full disclosure. Danny from Devil in the Details YouTube channel, I think has called it absolutely right. We'll go through some confirmation that we've seen from some of the respected and credible foreign media and sort of media outlets and the transfer experts are talking about the Jadon Sancho deal. We also want to talk about Alex Telles, who is being linked to Manchester United as well. The left-back position is one that many Man United fans have spoken about as being a sort of a problem area, an area that needs to be addressed by Manchester United. And it says here that Man United are going to advance their talks for the 27-year-old defender. It says here that it's finally time for the Portuguese media to report on Man United's interest in Porto left-back Alex Telles. The English press have been talking about the possibility for the past few days, and now the Portuguese press have come up with a similar story. It says the newspaper writes that Manchester United are going to advance to sign the 27-year-old this summer. Man United is said to be more confident about spending in Portugal following the success of Bruno Fernandes back in January. It says here that it's claimed that that United will have to pay around 30 million euros for the left back. And it's certainly a position. It's certainly a position that Man United fans have been screaming to have focused on, fixed, for it to be looked at, for it to be addressed by Ollie. There's a notion that Williams isn't ready yet, and I can understand that, but also that Luke Shaw's never going to be good enough. And Alex Telles is a name that's come up many times. If you look at 30 million euros in this market for a 27-year-old, is pretty good value as well, especially when you consider what we're spending on, we'll be spending on Jadon Sancho as an example. But the question, and again, I've read this multiple times, that United are advancing their move for him. I've heard that we're in advanced talks. I've heard this is something that may happen. I want your views and opinions on this, ladies and gentlemen. Alex Telles from Porto, is he good enough? Is he right? Is he going to get into the Man United first team? I want your opinions on this. Like, genuinely do. I want your opinions on this. There is a lot of can we repeat what we did. I don't think the Bruno Fernandes thing has anything to do with it, by the way. You know, I genuinely don't. You know, he may play in Portugal. I think, is he Brazilian though? Did he play for Brazil? Yeah, he has played for Brazil just on the one occasion. Just take a look here at his career as well. I just want to take a look at this. You know, he's played in Italy, he's played in Turkey, he's played, he went on loan to Inter Milan for 1 year, did all right. Plays a regular amount of football, sort of over 30 league games a season. He's played over 40 games a season for the past 4 years. So you kind of know you've got a player that, from an injury point of view, is going to hold up. I can only go on what I've read. Seems a decent player. Do I watch Porto play football? No. You know, do I watch Galatasaray play football when he was there? No. So I don't have a personal opinion on how good or bad he is. All I can do is report on the story. All I can do is say what I've kind of read on socials, and that's kind of saying that he's a decent enough player. But I do want your opinions on that. The other big story is Man United walking away from Jadon. By the way, if you're watching live right now, please hit that like button for us. It's really important. Also, download the Hot Mic app. All the information to do that is inside our description below. Really do need your support on that. Massively important to the Football Terrace that you do that for us. It truly is. Now, you all know my views on the Sancho deal. I think the fees, done. I think the personal terms are done. I think we are now going through his legal review. So the intricate details and terms within the add-ons, within the clauses. And this is very key. You then have the commerciality and marketing aspect. That is going to take a lot of time because Sancho is littered with personal sponsors. Man United are inundated. You know, we have noodle sponsors. Whoever thought you'd have a noodle sponsor? we do. Our official noodle sponsor, watch sponsor, hat sponsor, trainer sponsor, trouser sponsor, pants sponsor, wine sponsor. Excuse me. A lot of work needs to go into this. But there is reports here that Man United are reportedly prepared to walk away. I want to take you to a tweet here. Jan is one of the most credible and respected journalists on social media. He says, important specification. Yesterday, it was known that Man United are using a broker to do part of their negotiations. This is not only a battle for a player between two clubs. This is also a battle between two clubs to own the story around the deal and the negotiations. And that is exactly what Danny from Devil in the Details said. We go into the Christian Fuchs, who he quote tweeted here. It says, update, Sancho, a neutral agent is doing the work between the clubs. So United can say, we don't talk, we don't negotiate, we don't have any agreements. They're actually telling the truth. Remember that. Man United are telling the truth because of that. And this is how you're being spun here. You're being spun like Amir Khan when he takes one on the chin. Man United are not doing the negotiations. So they can say that they're not doing the negotiations. Man United want to own the story. Man United want to look like they are in complete and utter power at all times. By the way, so do Dortmund. But the most credible transfer experts in the world, and I'm not talking about journalists who have a connection to Man United, will say whatever Woodward tells them to get their exclusive interviews 2 or 3 times a year. I'm talking about credible transfer experts that only care about reporting as close to the truth as they can get. I'm talking about journalists that are on the runways as superstar players land to sign for their new clubs. Man United's fee, in my opinion, is practically done. Man United will pay 120 million euros. They're going to pay 90 million pound of that, 90 million euros of that in an initial installment and then over the payment and then over the course of 2 or 3 years in installments. The rest will be add-ons. The debate now, in my opinion, is all around how these add-ons are paid. What does Sancho need to achieve? What do Man United need to achieve to push these through? But Man United want to act like they're in power here. So they have released this story, in my view, of, yeah, we're willing to walk away at any given moment if you don't do as we say. The way the British press reported on this simultaneously tells me something's fishy. It's a briefing. And in my humble opinion, we're not looking to walk away. You know, Fabrizio Romano, United have reaffirmed the personal terms with Sancho. That's all done. Why would Woodward and Co. be doing the personal terms if they were looking at walking away? It makes no sense to me in relation to that at all. But if we go back to that original the tweet from Jan, you know, this is also a battle between the clubs to own the story around the deal and the negotiations. Because remember, when this deal is complete, Man United will claim we're not going to claim it's a 70, 80 million pound deal, maybe a little bit higher. Dortmund's end are going to push the 120, no matter what happens. It's because Dortmund want to show their fans, they want to show, you know, the German media, they want at their end, we got the best deal. Man United are going to want to show that we got the best deal. And what you'll find, as ever, is right in the middle, there is going to be a happy medium. All along, United won't pay above 50, 60. Dortmund, we won't take less than 120, 130. I've been sitting here the whole time telling you all, there'll be about 90 million paid. We will add these add-ons, but these add-ons are going to be difficult to achieve. But they're difficult to achieve in real terms, but Dortmund are telling us this is the best young talent in the world. So you must think it's plausible. Remember, to get a higher price for a player, one of the biggest elements that goes into the negotiations, the valuation and the purchase price of a player is sporting potential that individual brings you. You can't tell us he's the best young talent in the world and then not expect, and there be no sporting potential. If there's sporting potential, you get a higher fee. But equally, you can't then start pushing back on clauses that are based on better sporting performances. The reason you're elevating the price is because you're telling us that we're going to improve as a team with your player. So and this is where the conversation is at. It's we're stuck in the weeds now. It's the fine detail. It's the clauses. It's the yeah, buts. What if this happens? What if that happens? Everybody fighting out. But what happens is political. Everybody wants to look strong. Man United are not walking away. Man United are not going to try and walk away. The deal is very, very close to being agreed. But remember, the same British press saying that we're miles away in valuation were the same British press who told us that the Bruno Fernandes deal was done. Remember on the Friday, and then it fallen through. United are looking to walk away. 2 or 3 days later, it was done. It was over the line. It was finished. This happens time and time again. Do not get yourselves suckered in. Reading this report, this article I read this morning that says Man United are reportedly prepared to walk away from the deal, frustrated by Dortmund's unrealistic asking price and their artificial deadline. By the way, Man United have said there's a deadline. Man United have told the press there's a deadline. The German media and the respected, credible European media are saying, especially Fabrizio Romano, there is no deadline. They're not reported on a deadline. I think Man United have sold this idea there's a deadline because there isn't one. And it makes perfect sense. Man United tell everyone there's a deadline. It goes past Friday's deadline. Man United then still get the deal done. They can spin it that we didn't bow down to the deadline demands and we still got the job done. We didn't bow down to the demands. We didn't bend over backwards to get it done in your time frame. We did it in our time frame because we're in control. I mean, for me, I find the whole thing a madness. Just get the deal done. Stop this pandering to the media. But that's where we're at. It says the MEN report that Man United have not agreed personal terms, despite reports on Tuesday suggesting a £340,000 a week 5-year deal. Well, that's nonsense in itself. Fabrizio Romano said the personal deal is done. It's £250,000 a week. So again, that's an absolute truth. Man United haven't agreed personal terms at £340,000 per week. They've agreed terms at £250,000 per week. So from a factual standpoint, United can brief the media that. He hasn't agreed personal terms. Not at £330,000 a week. If I offer you a job at £50,000 a year, you could tell the world that Terry ain't offered me a job at £70,000 a year. You're telling the truth. Because I didn't. I offered you a job at £50,000. Spin. It says here, both Martial and Pogba are understood to resent Sanchez's significantly higher wages. And that's how they're spinning this now, that United are making it. And this is then how it be pushed in. United don't want to make the same mistakes with Sancho as they did with Sanchez. That isn't going to happen because he's coming in on relatively the same. He's coming in on less money than David De Gea, less money than Pogba, and in and around the same money as Martial and Rashford. And that is fair. You can't go after somebody that's coveted as being one of the biggest and best talents in the world and not pay him at the same rate as you're paying current stars at the same level. Don't be suckered in by it. And that's how it's going to be spun. Martial and Pogba are going to be unhappy. They're not going to be unhappy with what he's earning. It isn't going to go anywhere. And maybe, just maybe, Sancho can earn up to £300,000, £400,000 a week, but it'll be performance-based. It's a little bit like the new deal for Williams. It was brilliant. Laurie Whitwell put it out and said Williams is going to be paid up to £65,000. Man United spend too much money. Yeah, that's performance-related. He has to be in winning teams, keeping clean sheets, playing over 70 minutes per game to receive bonuses. It will be something along those lines, meaning if we concede the goal, the bonus is out of there. If we don't win the game, the bonus isn't there. He's coming on as a sub, the bonus isn't there. His base is around £20,000 per week. Man United changed their model about a year ago, where a lot of these deals, Rashford's deal is £150,000 a week, rising to £250,000 a week with scoring and win bonuses. If we're not scoring and not winning, you're not earning that big money. You're still earning really good money, by the way, compared to me and you. And that's what Man United have changed. But people ignore the facts of an article that it's performance related, and they just, it's £250,000 a week. Yeah, if you're scoring loads of goals and we're winning lots of games. If we're not, then it's less. Man United have changed their model. It's bonus related that gets you the big money now. You just not, unless you have been at the David De Gea deal is another conversation. Now, if you've been there 10 years and you've been consistent, then it might be different. But it's performance related in regards to that. But listen, everyone who's tuned in, thank you. Hit that like and share button. Alex, tell us you want him at Man United. Jadon Sancho, relax your heads, relax your brains. The deal's going to happen. Speak to you all soon. Bye-bye.